Influence Media.
God,
I'm blessed, black, and highly favored. How are you, sir? What's happening?
I'm doing good. I feel like this is going to be probably, sorry Grant, sorry Casey, this is going to be the interview today. Charlamagne THA GOD, how are you doing? You're in Toronto right now, Influence Toronto. Could you tell us, why did you accept the invitation and what does influence mean to you?
I like the city of Toronto. I was here for the TIFF festival.
Yep.
I was here for the Toronto Film Festival a couple months ago.
Yep.
And I just like the city. And then, you know, when they talk about being an influencer, and
Yep.
then I saw the other influences that they had, I'm like, shit, I want to be a part of that. Plus the check ain't too bad. You know, check's not bad at all.
I totally agree. What's the constant truth in your career? Constant, like you've always stuck to that. That's helped you stay true to who you are. Because I feel I've been following you for a long time. You've never changed. So what's that constant truth that's helped you stay?
One of the principles in my book, which is live your truth. Live your truth so nobody can use your truth against you. That's the Eminem and 8 Mile theory. So a lot of times, you know, you say things about yourself before somebody else can say them, so it leaves people defenseless. But even more importantly, it's just that when you live your truth, you're just constantly being honest about where you are in your life at all times. So like that helps you to never become a caricature of yourself. You don't ever become like like just a character, a puppet. You know what I mean? Like I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly evolving. I'm not the same person I was last year. You know what I mean? I'm not the same person I was the year before that. And I'm constantly taking the listeners on that journey. My thoughts are always evolving. You know, the way I approach things are always evolving. So I think when you do that, like you're constantly growing and people just appreciate that honesty. So they're kind of like living your life with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. And speaking of truth and being constant, because you said that a couple of times, is consistency one of your biggest quality? To be consistent and disciplined?
Oh, absolutely, man. Like, you know, like the Breakfast Club is going on 7 years. It'll be 7 years this year.
God bless the Breakfast Club.
So exactly. So it's just like I look at what we've done over the past 7 years, and I think that we've been consistently contributing to the culture in the right way. You know, I think we've consistently contributed quality interviews. I think we've consistently contributed quality content.
Authentic and organic content.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, consistency is definitely the key. It's with anything. Consistency is the key if you're any type of content creator. You know what I'm saying? If you do music, you got to consistently put out good music. If you're a athlete, you got to consistently have good games. Like life is about averages, right? Like when it's all said and done,
basketball, everything, sports, entrepreneurship,
exactly.
Averages.
When it's all said and done, they're gonna talk about your averages. So you know what I mean? I just hope that we've been putting up enough points consistently that we have great career averages when it's all said and done. And I think we've done that. So yeah, consistency is definitely the key.
When's the next book up?
Next book is next year.
Really?
Yeah, next year.
Already?
Yeah, next year. Later next year. You know, probably around the fall or something like that. But yeah, because I didn't want to rush it.
Yeah.
Because you know, Black Privilege was really successful. It was on the New York Times bestsellers list for 7 weeks in a row. It sold a lot of copies. And when that happens, then the book agents and the publisher, they want you to come right back out. And the book agents are like, yo, we getting a huge check. And I'm like, nah, because I don't do things for money. You know what I mean? So I wanted to wait until like God hit me with that, boom, this is where I want you to go with it. And he did. Around June of this year, it hit me where I wanted to go with the book.
And the book, were you surprised by the success of the book or you expected it?
I don't expect anything, but I did expect for it to do well. You know what I'm saying? I wrote, because I keep a vision board. You know what I'm saying? I believe in vision boards, and I write down my long-term goals and my short-term goals. And I did write down that I was going to have a New York Times bestseller one day. I wrote that down years ago. So I'm not going to say I was surprised by the success of it, but I'm happy that it did what I wanted it to do, and not even from a sales perspective. Like I wanted my story to influence other people to create their own story.
Gotcha.
You know, because I always say I'm not an expert at anything. I just have some experiences, and I'm sharing my experiences with people, and hopefully you learn from them. And you know, when people come up to me and they tell me that the book had that kind of impact on them, then I'm good with that. Like, you know, even now, like I see a lot of people getting like they're getting nominated for book awards this year, and I don't see me nominated, but I'm not upset because I know that my book had real, genuine impact. When I go to talk at these schools, when I come to events like this, when I'm just out in the street and people are coming to me like, yo,
you get that love.
Black Privilege changed my life, or black privilege, motivated me to do this. That's the validation for me.
And you've talked about this in interviews. How has black privilege, opportunities comes to those who create it, been received by, let's call it what it is, the Caucasian following that you have? Because you do have that following as well.
Well, the Caucasians that are open-minded enough to not judge a book by its title and read it, they love it because it's just an American come-up story at the end of the day. Yeah, and it's me telling my truth. I am a black man. I am a black man who thinks it's a privilege to be black. I don't think my black skin is a burden or a liability. I think it's a privilege and an honor to be in this black skin, and I'm celebrating that. And throughout my life, the things that I've been most proud of have been being from South Carolina and being black. Like those are that's my existence.
Yep.
That's who I am.
That's your truth.
So for the Caucasians who are open-minded and, like I said, don't judge a book by its title, they receive it. They receive that message. If you are a Caucasian who looks at that title and get mad just because you see the word black in it, then you're probably a cracker white devil. Probably a racist ass bigot anyway. So you don't need to pick up my book.
And I hear you sometimes teasing DJ Envy about being a beige brother. Mm-hmm. I'm a beige brother.
Yes, you are. That is a fact, sir. Anything else obvious you want to state today?
Well, there's another thing I'd like to. I have a theory, though. I played basketball all my life. I was fortunate enough to play professional basketball in Europe, and I have a theory that I think the solution for black people in North America in general, not just in Canada, but definitely in North America, is I believe we need to shift what we embrace. We've been embracing sports. We've been embracing music for so long. If we embraced entrepreneurship, real entrepreneurship,
100%.
Imagine that, Charlamagne. And I want your honest opinion about this, because I have these tremendous, not arguments, these discussions with my friend where I genuinely believe visible minorities, not just black people, should embrace entrepreneurship as a way to create wealth.
I talk about that all the time. I actually have a principle in my book called Fuck Your Dreams. And the reason I say fuck your dreams, because it's fuck your dream if it's not your dream. Because a lot of times when you're a young black kid growing up in the hoods of America, the people you see who are successful that look like you are usually in entertainment or athletics. So that's what they gravitate towards, you know what I mean? But that's not necessarily your dream. That's just something you see working for somebody else.
Yep.
So yeah, I absolutely encourage people to be entrepreneurs, be architects, be engineers. You know, it was a point in my life where I wanted to be a psychiatrist, and the reason I wanted to be a psychiatrist because I could open up my own psychiatric clinic. I didn't want to work for anybody, you know? So it's just like, yeah, absolutely. If we make that one little shift and start focusing on economics and focusing on how to create, wealth amongst each other, absolutely things would change in a heartbeat. Like honestly, like Jay-Z said, financial freedom is our only hope. Period. Economic empowerment is our only hope, because we have these conversations about searching for equality all of the time. Like we want to be treated equal by the white man. Listen, man, if you are a white racist, you're never gonna look at it as a black person as equal. If you're a misogynistic person, you're never gonna look at it as a woman as equal. If you're a homophobic person, you're never gonna look at it as a gay person as equal. So why are we striving for equality? Like we should be trying to get economic empowerment.
100%.
Because once you empower yourself economically, you don't give a fuck what they think anyway. Period.
That's such a good point, Charlamagne, because my father always told me, he said, Thierry, the day you're going to learn that when you walk outside, whether you're mixed, black, whatever, you as a black person, because society sees you like this, you can't go outside and just say, you know what, today I will not talk to one white person. I will not literally have a conversation with one white person. White person in 2017 could walk outside and say, I will not speak
to any minority.
and the day you understand that, you start to think like your book, black privilege. You start to think, you know what? Embrace what you got and just stop worrying. You know what I mean?
Be proud of who and what you are. Be proud of what God created you to be. That's the whole concept of black privilege. Like, the word privilege has two definitions. Of course, one is, something systemic and a set of rights granted to a certain community. We know that with white privilege. But then privilege also means an honor to be. It is, if you're born a black man, it's a privilege and an honor to be a black man. If you're born a Caucasian woman or Asian woman, it's a privilege and honor to be an Asian woman. Like embrace who and what you are.
That's it. And that's what the book's all about. Let me ask you two last questions before I let you go, because a lot of people want to meet with you. Did you ever feel like you deserved Donkey of the Day?
Yeah, I've given it to myself a few times.
And when's the next time you think you might get it?
I gave it to myself last week, actually.
You did?
Yeah, because I just been I've been watching all of these different sex assault scandals and rape scandals that have been going on in Hollywood, and I'm cool with it because I feel like you can never heal what you don't reveal. So it's good that a lot of these women are speaking out. But then I started for the past year, and I've been having these thoughts about rape culture, because you've been hearing this term rape culture and sexual assault culture, and I'm like, damn. We was raised off that and didn't even realize it. Like we were literally raised off it.
Yep.
You think about the music and the movies that influenced it. Like you think about a movie like Revenge of the Nerds with a guy dressed up like Phantom of the Opera, pretending to be the chick's boyfriend.
That is borderline rape.
That's not borderline. That is. You know what I mean? Or you think about Belly when DMX was
big time.
When the girl called DMX's
like,
wife, she was like, he said we couldn't fuck yet, but I was 16, so he let me suck his dick tonight. So I'm like, yo,
it's a classic
Snoop
movie.
Dogg
right
ain't
there,
no fun if the homies can't have none. Like the Dr. Dre
true.
video when the girl was playing volleyball and she went to go up to hit the ball and they pulled her top off.
Man.
Like
That's
yo,
so true.
we was raised on rape culture, sexual assault culture. So you can't be afraid to unlearn all of the bullshit that you've learned in your life. So I gave myself Donkey of the Day for just coming to that realization.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
And what would be 2 artists or 3 artists that we'd be shocked to see in your playlist? Shout out to CTha for that question. Actually, for all the questions, she's awesome.
I don't know, man, because I have a very I have a diverse taste in music, and the reason that is because I'm from South Carolina. So being from South Carolina, growing up, we didn't have our own sound. Like how Atlanta has its own sound, New York has its own artists.
Yep,
Miami. Like we didn't have that.
Yep.
Not until later on, and we still haven't had a major artist. But so I used to listen to everything from West Coast to of course the down south stuff coming out of Atlanta, like the Dungeon Family and Master P out of New Orleans, and I listen to New York, I listen to West Coast. So my playlist is very diverse. Like I don't know. Like I'm not one of these guys that's out here like, yo, hip hop is dead. Like I be thinking hip hop popping right now. Like I'm listening to CTha the Prince. His album No Dope on Sundays. I love Rhapsody's album, Layla's Wisdom. I love, Big Crit's album, Forever's a Mighty Long Time. Like I just got a real diverse playlist. Like I like R&B music. I think SZA put out an incredible album this year.
Sure
like I love 90s R&B. I love some pop music, you know what I mean? I was a big Katy Perry fan until this year. Yeah.
Shout out to Katy.
I used to love Teenage Dream. That was a great album.
Shout out to Katy.
I don't know what would surprise you. I don't know.
And you know what? I lied. I said last question, but I got one more. Did you ever drink those bottles from Drake?
No,
We're in Toronto.
I gave all of them away except for one.
Did you?
Yeah, because I had a homie. My homie told me to save one. He said in case Drake ever does come for an interview, save one so you can pop that bottle with him. So I gave away all of them except for one. I gave one bottle to a bunch of my homegirls. Like all my homegirls got them. Like Crystal got one, Zuri Hall got one. I think we drank one on the set of Uncommon Sense. I forgot where the rest of them went though.
But you still got that one bottle.
I got one left. Yeah, I got one left.
Are we gonna see it in 2018?
I don't know. That's up to Drake.
I bet it is. Hey, Charlamagne, thank you for coming on the podcast. Podcast is all about influence.
Yes, sir.
We aim to inspire, inform, and influence. And you're definitely, in our opinion, an individual of influence.
Thank you, man.
And you said that you're not an expert, but I beg to differ. I think you're an expert in the culture that is needed for young, black, not just entrepreneur, but people that aim to do better for themselves. So that's from me to you and from the movement that we've created. And we're blessed to have you with us. And hopefully you'll come to Montreal, French city, but it's still a good city. We'd love to have you down there.
I'd love to be there. I mean, if that check looked like the one that I got for this, I'm there, my brother.
Guys, thank you for tuning in, and remember, stay influential. Hey.
Influence Media.